In balancing the spiritual and the creative, we're seeing examples of consumers being actively encouraged to de-tech and take time away from screen environments as a means of adding creativity, family, and community balance. Last month, nearly 6 million people, this is just last month, nearly 6 million people in the US deleted their Facebook accounts. Thai mobile network DTAC has built a short film campaign highlighting the negative qualities of technology's distractions in order to promote their services as part of a balanced lifestyle. So we have wonder, we have beauty, we have creativity, we have balance, and finally, personalization. As we see here, the triumph of beauty revolutionizing the way that beauty is actually promoted. To support the recent launch of 2 new skincare products, Estée Lauder created a new global advertising campaign featuring the very first French, Chinese, and Puerto Rican models to be signed by the brand. This is the first advertisement for Estée Lauder, which sees 3 global faces appearing together in one campaign. And each model will also have a separate individual print and TV ad campaign with specific skin tones listed. The ads are superbly simple, but what they do is in one image speak to a cross-section of people and regions. And this is the big shift. Communications today can reach out to many different types of people, celebrating the differences rather than the similarities, and offering the best result for every single one of them. Estée Lauder are calling these releases icon images with the strapline, "Every woman can be beautiful." So if consumers are looking for advertisers and marketers in 2012 to create a state of wonder for them, put beauty at the core, embed creativity into the process, balance technology and the spiritual, and speak to them individually, what about 2013? Our most directional and visionary clients, including my wonderful panelists, are already looking at 2013. So here's what we know. There will be 3 macro trends driving consumer priorities through 2013. Eco-hedonism, radical neutrality, and hyperculture.
The way when I started the vision of creating this DNA of a brand which already had like a sort of a heritage was looking much more further back than just sitting on a table and creating a concept of how the next shoe should look like. For us was less the question, is the next season green or red or is it blue? For me it was much more important to create really this sustainable luxury going backwards and creating a shoe in a way which have been created like 100 to 120 or even 125 years ago. Like in the shoe industry, the peak of the finest shoemaking has been around 100 to 110 years ago. From the 1890s to the 1920s, in this period, the shoemaking reached its finest peak of possible shoemaking. Unfortunately then, after the First World War, Second World War, all this knowledge and workmanship, they have been gone. So what we tried to do is, we did huge research in what has been possible 100 years ago, and why shouldn't be this possible these days in our global technology world with all these possibilities, but we are not able to do something anymore which people have done by hand 100 years ago. So we really recreated technologies to do refined shoemaking in a contemporary lifestyle these days, meaning we created this sentence of contemporary 1900. And this is the brand philosophy. So everything we do, we really sit on the table and think, okay, how has it been done before and how can we bring this into the 21st century? And then the result, of course, on the product is really something completely new.
It's closely associated with the emotional perception that people have of a particular brand. So if you take a brand like Batman, there's no reason why you can make it a relevant proposition for kids, but at the same time, a very compelling proposition for adults. And that is almost impossible to imagine for classic FMCG brands. And I think that is true for most of the entertainment brands. I mean, if you think about Superman or Batman, all of them are incredibly stretchable as long as you come up with the appropriate creative execution. So you don't necessarily use the same artwork, the same attributes for all these different target audiences, but in essence, the brand can be stretched across multiple target demos.
And didn't you demonstrate that sort of within an incredibly short sort of 6-month time frame where you launched an extraordinary number of different brand treatments?
It's a classic example. When you're looking back, if we had asked any marketing guru or explain to them what our plans were, they would have said, don't even think about it. The first thing was, in July 2008, Batman, The Dark Knight came out, a pretty dark and adult movie, and broke every box office record. 3 months later, we launched Batman Lego video games for kids. Equally went into the top 10 bestsellers. Then 6 months later, we launched a new TV series targeting sort of 6 to 8 year olds called Batman the Brave and the Bold, taking Batman outside of Gotham City in a much more colorful environment. And that again was very successful and got very good ratings. And then in July 2009, we launched Arkham Asylum, a AAA video games, which again was a bestseller. All of that in the space of 1 year. And if you look back into the industry of food, not a single company would have done such a broad program with so many different target demo in the space of 1 year. It's just not thinkable.